Welcome to today's explainer covering the MCP connector for Google Drive, straight from Claude Master. Look, if you use Claude, you already know it's incredibly powerful. But today, we're diving into an intermediate feature that's basically a game-changing bridge between where your work actually lives and where it gets done.
To really get why this is revolutionary, just think about your current workflow for a second. Your document lives in Google Drive, right? And to use it with Claude, you've got to download it, copy the text, or, paste a dead link. And the second that file changes, yep, you're doing it all over again. Downloading, copying, the endless, pervasive tab switching. It just totally breaks your flow.
We're talking about teams wasting literal hours every single week on just 3 completely manual steps: downloading files, copy-pasting text, and re-uploading document updates. Seriously, these documents never needed to leave Google Drive in the first place. The Google Drive connector wipes out all 3 of those wasted steps. You just drop in one URL, and boom, you've got live content every single time.
So, what exactly is this magic bridge? Well, the MCP connector is a built-in integration that uses the Model Context Protocol. It's an open standard that lets Claude directly read, search, and actually work with your Google Drive files. You just authenticate once, and Claude securely handles your docs, sheets, and PDFs, strictly keeping to the permissions you've already set. And yeah, this works across Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise plans.
Now here is the absolute standout feature. It is live synced. When you link a Drive file to a private Claude project, it stays permanently synced. Claude is always reading the current, living version of your document. So if your product roadmap updates on Tuesday, Claude already knows about it by Wednesday. 0 re-uploading required. Let's look at a quick example. Picture a procurement manager, right? She's got 3 files sitting in Drive, a budget, and 2 different vendor proposals. In the old days, she'd open 3 tabs and do mental gymnastics to compare them. Now, she just opens Claude, checks that her Drive is connected, and literally pastes those 3 URLs right into the chat. 3 files, 1 prompt.
She just types which vendor fits within budget and offers the best value. Show your reasoning. And instantly, Claude processes all 3 of those live documents, compares the actual deliverables against her budget, and recommends vendor B. Plus, it cites every single figure right back to the specific source document.
The efficiency gain here is just massive. What used to take 45 minutes of tedious tab switching and cross-referencing is now done in under a minute. And honestly, the best part is that she didn't have to download a single file to her hard drive to make it happen.
But, you do want to use this strategically. The connector is your go-to for live, constantly changing documents, and for keeping your Claude projects perfectly synced. Where you don't want to use it is for static, finalized files that are never going to change, or if you're just grabbing a tiny, precise text excerpt. Honestly, good old copy and paste is still the better tool for that job.
It's also super important to understand the limits here. Yes, the connector can read files and it can create them, but it absolutely cannot move, rename, or delete your existing files. It's not going to randomly reorganize your folders or trash your important documents. For any of those admin actions, you're still going to use Google Drive directly. Ultimately, we're looking at a fundamental shift in how we interact with AI. It takes Claude from a tool you constantly have to feed to a tool that just reads directly alongside you. You authenticate it one time, paste your URL, and let Claude handle the live content with literally 0 maintenance. So, I'll leave you with this. How many hours is your team going to save this week just by never having to download or re-upload a working document again? If you want to dive deeper and see the fully worked out examples, check out the complete chapter in the Claude Master ebook over at claudemaster.net. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and enjoy reclaiming all that lost time.